If you've been scrolling through endless lists of massage chairs, watching videos, comparing specs, and still feel stuck wondering which one actually lives up to the hype, this review is meant to clear that up. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent the last few weeks reading through the same forums and reviews that you probably have, and I've actually set the Titan Osaki Dreamer up in a modest living room corner to see how it fits into a real home environment. First off, let's talk about why a lot of people hesitate to take the plunge on a high-end massage chair. The price tag alone can feel like a gamble, especially when you're not sure whether the machine will truly replace a few monthly spa visits or if it will just end up as a fancy seat that gathers dust. The biggest concerns that keep popping up in the comments are, does the chair really massage the right spots? Can you control the intensity without feeling like you're in a spaceship? And will it actually fit in a tight apartment without hogging the whole floor? Those are the questions I tried to answer with the Dreamer. When you first unbox the Dreamer, the space-saving technology claim is more than marketing fluff. The chair is built on a slim frame that folds a bit when you pull the footrest forward, shaving off a few inches of depth compared to bulkier models. In a studio apartment, that meant I could slide it against the wall and still have room for a coffee table on the other side. If you're living in a house with a dedicated media room, the footprint is still modest enough that you won't need to sacrifice a whole wall. Now, the core of any massage chair is the mechanism that moves the rollers. Titan calls it a 3D massage mechanism paired with a superior SL track. In practice, the SL track means the rollers glide along a longitudinal line from the base of the spine up to the neck, while the 3D motion adds a subtle side-to-side sweep. The result is a fairly natural feeling, like a therapist's hand moving up and down while also rolling gently across your muscles. I tried the deep tissue program for a full 20-minute session, and the pressure was strong enough to feel the knots in my lower back loosening, yet it never crossed the line into painful. If you're someone who enjoys a firm massage that mimics a professional therapist, the Dreamer's intensity settings are easy to dial up without the chair shouting you a warning beep every few seconds. Heat therapy is another feature that shows up in a lot of user questions. Does the heat actually make a difference, or is it just a gimmick? The Dreamer incorporates heating pads in both the lumbar area and the seat cushion. When I enabled the heat on a chilly evening, the warmth was noticeable within a minute, and it seemed to deepen the muscle relaxation. For people who suffer from chronic lower back tightness or cold-induced stiffness, that extra heat can be a real perk. On the other hand, if you're looking for a hot stone experience, this is still a modest, surface-level warmth. One of the biggest selling points is the zero-gravity reclining function. The idea is to elevate your legs to the same level as your heart, reducing strain on the spine and improving circulation. You press a button, and the backrest tilts while the footrest lifts, creating a reclining angle that feels almost weightless. I found this position most effective when I was recovering from a long bike ride. My calves and hamstrings relaxed without any extra effort. However, the chair does have a limit on how far it can recline. It stops short of a fully horizontal space zero position you sometimes see on more expensive models. If you're hoping for a full zero-gravity experience where you're practically floating, you might feel a little shortchanged. A practical strength that often isn't highlighted enough is the 72-cell air massage system. Those tiny airbags inflate and deflate at the shoulders, arms, hips, and calves, providing a gentle compression that complements the roller work. For me, the air cells gave a subtle hug feeling that helped release tension in the shoulders after a day of typing. If you suffer from swelling or need a light circulation boost, those airbags can be a useful addition. Conversely, if you're primarily after a deep muscle need, the air cells might feel like an unnecessary layer that you can simply turn off. Control simplicity is a frequent pain point for first-time owners. The Dreamer uses a remote with a clear LED display, and the layout groups the main functions: massage program, intensity, heat, and zero gravity into dedicated buttons. There's a learning curve, but after a couple of tries you can start a session without scrolling through menus. I liked that the remote also lets you pause or skip to a different program mid-session, which is handy when you realize you're getting too intense on a certain area. It's not a touchscreen, so you won't have to worry about fingerprints, but it does mean the interface isn't.